Hoot. Hello.
You do? Oh, that sounds good.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I see that
Oh,
Chris and Cross are in the chat.
Hey. Oh, look, and Carl's in the chat too. Thanks, Carl.
I'm everywhere.
And we have a special guest.
not that special.
You're always special. Very
I mean, very
special.
special. I mean, like, he's even wearing a world's okayest DM t-shirt.
Look at that.
No, the thing is, this shirt was a joke when I first got it, but now it's kind of accurate because I don't actually play D&D very often. Um, so I don't remember the rules. The last time I had to run it for my friend's kid, I I I'd never even read the 2024 rules. So now it should say world's okay as a GM, and then it would be funny again.
Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Hey, me. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Mia.
Maybe,
Hey everyone. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Chris is saying Lisa is muted.
it's,
Ooh,
You're
weird.
not muted to me, but maybe on the stream he's not hearing you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Check in OBS. Make sure that you've got your sound set up. You might be picking up the wrong microphone or something.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hey,
Well, do you want to finish your question? Because I don't know what to say. Okay, yeah. So I believe my answer would have been I don't remember the conversation. I believe my answer would have been that I need both in my life. Uh, I began as a GM. My first games were as the dungeon master in fourth edition D&D. Um, but we had an arrangement at the time in that group because we were all brand new that we would trade off. So after I finished my first adventure that I ran, which was Keep on the Shadowfell, um, I changed seats with another guy at the table, and then he took over, and I brought in my character. And I found that, like I said, I need both in my life because I am a control freak enough that if I just a player long enough, I start to get antsy. Like I need to be behind the curtain. I need to be making the decisions. And no matter how good your GM is, if you're also a GM, there are always going to be rulings where you're like, I would have done that differently. And at least for me, that's the case. And yeah, like eventually I need to get back in the chair. I remember after Shadows of Archonia campaign one, I had a novel that I was finishing and it was way overdue. I had kickstarted it a decade earlier. And I told these guys, I'm not gonna GM a campaign again until I finish this novel. Um, and that was months, in between campaigns one and two, we did something like 11 episodes of Cyberpunk Red. We did, um, no, way more than 11, maybe 20. I don't know. Someone look at my channel and count them. But there were also other things in there like Godless, Shadow of the Demon Lord supplement Godless, and a few other things that we played during that time. And then when we started gearing up for campaign two again, I sat in that square with all of all of the people looking at me, waiting for me to tell them what was going on for the first time. in months, and it felt like I was home again. It's like this is where I belong. I'm back where I belong. Um, so, but then also conversely, when I am GMing for a long time, I also start to get jealous of the players. Like they're having this other type of experience that I'm not getting right now. So I like both. I like both, and ideally, because I do run the show as well, my ideal situation is those times when I'm running the campaign on Friday, but on Monday I have other people running.
So let me ask, can everybody hear me now? So I'll wait for the stream to let me know that. So you're kind of 50-50, or is there 60-40? What is the
60-40 GM?
60-40 GM?
Because of the other considerations that I have of producing a show about it at the same time, I tend to lean more towards player sometimes because it just takes up the mental bandwidth less.
Right. Yeah. Managing the stream and all the technical stuff as well as GMing at the same time, that could definitely that would put a lot of stress on my brain cell for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear from the group if they can hear me, but I haven't heard anything yet. Come on.
Yeah, they haven't answered yet.
Yeah,
which probably means they didn't hear your question.
Yeah,
Can you guys hear Lisa yet?
Yeah, Lisa asked, but none of us repeated it, so I don't. Maybe they can't hear.
Okay, I'm still working on it. I wonder why I did that.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Excellent.
They can hear you anyway. I don't know if it's good, but they can hear you.
It's definitely good.
I mean, we all love the sound of your voice.
Oh yeah, me too. I love it. All right. And okay, so you like GMing 60 and play 40.
Yeah.
I've played with you, and I've played in games that you've GM'd, and both have been absolutely excellent. I think that you are a fabulous GM, but as a player, you are so much fun to play with.
I appreciate that. So are you.
Your characters are amazing, and I love how with your player characters, anyone at the table, there's a really good bounce off feature that you apply to your characters where you make sure that the people at the table can interact with their personality, and it's fabulous. I love it.
Thank you. I thought there was a butt coming.
No, there's no butt.
Oh,
no,
all right.
No, just my big butt, but it's just a butt. Who do I pick on next? Carl Kim.
I mean, Chris here is saying that I believe firmly that being a GM can make you a better player, and being a player definitely makes you a better GM. So
100%.
I mean, like, you get a good mix of both.
I agree with that for sure.
You're gonna do good.
100%.
I'm trying a new technique to compensate for my lack of still hands. I have actually employed masking tape on this build, as though I were a house painter. So
yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that is not a dumb idea. That is really actually very smart.
When I thought of it, I was like, wait a minute, this is literally what it's for, masking.
Yeah.
Why does nobody do this?
Why is it called painter's tape when it's really masking tape? Isn't it the same thing?
Are they the same thing? I don't know.
I believe they are, yeah. I think painter's tape might be slightly less adhesive, but I might be wrong, or it might be the other way around.
Chris says
masking tape on it.
Chris says agreed on both points, Lisa, and I don't know how Steve is able to GM a compelling adventure and produce a live stream in real time simultaneously. I would run screaming.
I have a personality type where, well, this explains why I started it. These days, I'm just used to it. But I have a personality type where if it's remotely possible, I'm like, I can do that. If someone's like, I can't pick up a mountain, but if anyone could do it, I can figure it out. I'll get there.
Well, actually, Steve, first you craft the mountain, and then you could pick it up and put it on the table.
I could create a mountain that I could pick up. Sure.
Last question for you before I pick on Kim and Carl. Do
Yeah.
you have a system? And I'm not saying a game because systems can cross over different games. Do you have a system that you prefer to GM?
Well, the answer to that is always the one I'm more familiar with. I like things to be simple. Answer no. I don't have one favorite, but if I had to pull a session out of my butt on short notice, Easy D6.
Easy D6 is a good one.
If I want to construct a narrative, I have been spending a lot of time studying the system that we're going to be running campaign 3 in, which is Dungeon Crawl Classics. So I might go for that right now. Or for one of the Without Number systems, because we ran the last campaign I ran in Worlds Without Number. So I already know that one pretty well, even though I'm starting to replace that brain space with the new one. Another thing I could pull out really quickly is Merkborg or one of its derivatives. We have, as both a player and a GM, you can find a lot of Merkborg games on the backlog shows. And I've even done it in Archonia at this point. There's a part of the setting called 100 Years Black, which is in Merkborg. And Merkborg's just so easy to run.
I've never run Merkborg. I'd like to try
probably
it.
second in simplicity to Easy D6 for me.
Oh.
I mean, I'd
And I know
probably put it
that.
closer to Index Card RPG, but it's not very far off.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Index Card RPG is simpler than the things it was trying to improve on, but I don't think it approaches Easy D6 or Merkborg for simplicity. I ran it once years ago. I played it for the second time this week under Chris on Monday, which was a great session.
That was a great session.
Congratulations, Chris.
Yeah, well done, by the way. Excellent game. What I will say about Easy D6 is it's simple enough that I didn't really have to study the book again, even three years later or whatever it is. Like I did pull the book out and flip through it, but I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like I didn't have to learn it again.
Yeah, it's a simple system to know. It's easy to come back to, definitely. I'm gonna pick on Carl.
Oh no.
Yes. You've been at it. What do you like, GMing or playing? Both? And what percent?
Both. Absolutely both. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer one shots or very short campaigns, because I feel like to bounce from one seat to the other.
Well, that was simple.
By the way, speaking of masking tape and painter's tape, a really good trick for when you're working with miniatures, especially things with possibly flaky or softer surfaces. Okay, before you apply it to whatever surface you're using, just tape it to your clothes and pull it off, and maybe do it a couple of times. It's still tacky, it still sticks to things, but when you get too peeled off the miniature, it's not going to tear anything off with it.
That's actually a good tip. I also saw that someone use Elmer's glue. They just painted it where they didn't want the paint to go, let it dry, and then peeled it off.
Okay, so the traditional way of doing it is if you're not using any chipping medium or stuff like that, is to use hairspray. Yeah, so basically, spray the miniature with or the model with hairspray. Use toothpick to chip where you want the paint to go. You paint over that, and then you clean off the hairspray. So we create a mask kind of thing. And another one that I found very useful to do is to, but it only works if you're using spray paints. Salt.
Salt.
Mm.
Yeah, because so basically you make a very thick gloop of salt and water. You dab it onto the model wherever you want the thing to get covered. Then you let it dry, so you get the salt crystals in place. Spray it over, and then just clean off the salt.
And that's for which paints?
I only use that for spray paints. You can't really use a brush with that because you're just going to knock the salt off
Right.
when you do that.
But I mean, um, is that acrylic or because there's different ink paints or anything?
I mean, anything that you're going to spray should work. It should work fine with anything that you're going to spray.
Okay, cool, very cool. Chris says that EZD6 is amazing and Scotty is a genius. I definitely acknowledge that EZD6 is simpler to learn than ICRPG. However, I find EZD6 more challenging to homebrew because the toolkit is so streamlined. That's an interesting take.
I think
I mean,
he's
I,
right. I think
Mhm.
he's right. When it comes to EZD6, homebrew just means coming up with a new setting, essentially.
Mhm.
I mean, Carl's done it, but like you don't really want to add mechanics to EZD6, right? At least as much as you can avoid, because that's kind of the whole design concept of it. But yeah, and there are pros and cons for having extremely simple systems, and that's one reason why I play so many games is that I get it on both ends. Is that sometimes you want something a little crunchier.
yeah, I mean, like, absolutely. I mean, you want a balanced diet. But with Easy Six, it's usually not a case of adding stuff. It's more a case of finding a rule that's about already or a mechanic that's already 80 or 90% of the way there and reskinning it.
Right. Reskinning. That's a word I should have said. Yeah.
Chris says Carl has done it. In fairness, Carl is also a genius.
Carl
Now
is
I'm going to
also
have to live with that. Oh my God, it's going to go to his head, and now it's all going to be I'm a genius. Chris
Okay,
says
I
so.
should be this kind of person sometime, obviously.
That's going to be a new ringtone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No. Carl has the Four Horsemen has is a reskinning of ECD6, and the stress component in it I think is really nice and gritty. I love the grittiness of it because I love grittier game. I'm a grittier game person. I love
I mean,
grittier games.
the stress system was Scotty's idea. It's just again, I'm like, especially now that there's fantasy, there's post-apocalyptic, and then now there's the horror scenario and the sci-fi one coming up soon. It's really a case of picking up which Lego blocks you want to slot into place.
Well, that's true, but I mean, yes, the stress component is something that Scotty did, but then you took it a step further, took it into a historical, put it into a historical uh, theater, and
Mhm.
applied historical requirements to the game for the characters, and which allowed me to play a gong farmer. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
by the way, I don't know if you were aware of this, Carl, but this coming Monday, we will be returning to Four Horsemen. The game that was supposed to be a trilogy back in November, but we had to cancel
okay,
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
one because of illness. We're coming back to that on Monday, and then additionally to finishing that up, we've added 3 more sessions. So all of February
Oh,
on
wow, okay,
Backlog is going to be Four Horsemen.
nice. That's good because I was really enjoying listening to those games. But actually,
Chris.
going back to what you were saying about homebrewing for Easy Six, for example, the Four Horsemen was mostly a case of taking things out of the system rather than adding to them.
Mm. Yeah, like very low magic now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more a case of deciding what you want for your setting and just sludging it together.
Well,
For sure, for sure.
is changing it is modifying, I should say, not changing, is modifying the classes and it's just, I'm saying easy D6, but this could be for any system, is modifying the class system or the skill sets or inclinations as in the easy D6, are we skinning, or is that a major remodification in your opinion?
Depends. I mean, if you're not changing any of the mechanics, I would call that a reskin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Or
I'm
maybe
gonna
that was
pick
a
on.
Carl.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Say
Or
again.
maybe that question was directed at Carl. I don't know.
No,
I
it
think
was
it was
directed
no
at
good question.
anybody. I'm gonna pick on Kim now.
Watch out, Kim.
Oh, she's got her back to
Way
us.
back there. She's already out of the way.
She's back there. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm not,
she's
I'm not,
perfect.
I don't have to talk to you.
She's organizing her shelves.
I walked off to look at the walls. Yes, what can I do for you?
No, it's time to pick on you.
Yes, let's try. Pick away.
Pick away. What do you prefer, GMing, playing? What's the percentage?
I prefer GMing. I don't GM enough because I get in my own head and take too long to prepare and get things together. So I don't GM as much as I'd like to, but I do prefer
Mhm.
GMing because I like knowing the entire story. I do also like playing, definitely, because I like revealing or learning what the story is, and I like working with my fellow players. But I definitely prefer GMing.
Okay.
Percentage, it's pretty high. Percentage, I'd say 70-30. But I enjoy
Really?
playing, and I play much more than I GM, again, because I don't get myself together um, to get it actually done and set it up. But I really, really, really enjoy GMing.
Here's
Do
something
you?
you said that made me think of a question, Kim.
Hmm.
You said that one of the reasons is you like to know the whole story,
Mhm.
which correlates to the other place you and I hang out, which is at the writers group.
Yep.
Do you think there is um, an overlap between people who are writers and people who are GMs? Seems like a very simple question now that I say it out loud, but like more so than there is for players.
I would think personally, if you're asking me,
Yeah.
I sort of think so. Whether or not the term writer, of course, is very open
Yeah.
so I think that people who like stories and folklore and who like the movies. I mean, sitting in a theater and watching a movie, and letting that sort of wash over. That's sort of more of a player role, I would think, player
Hmm.
position, and that's one of the reasons movies are so popular. People want the experience and want to be surprised and want to be thrilled and shocked and have those emotions evoked. I don't, for me, and again, I can't say I'm not a, well, I can't, yeah, I'm not a published writer. A long time ago, I had a short story somewhere, but I'm not really, I haven't done a novel or anything like that. I'm not really a published writer, but I have been writing for a long time just because I like it. Um, but for me, as I'm writing, I'm seeing things unfold, and I can't say figuring out, but what is supposed to happen sort of happens. Uh, because I'm actually looking at it in my head. Things are starting to play out in my head, and even if I want something to happen, if it doesn't make sense, maybe it can't, or maybe I figure out a way for it too.
Mhm.
So I do like as a GM, I like having a story. I know what can happen. Uh, and then the players determine what actually happens. And they do things that weren't supposed to happen that I didn't think of. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, now I have to change the story because they've done something they either weren't supposed to do, which I really can't say they weren't because it just means I didn't think of it. I can't say they weren't supposed to do that if they're doing it.
Sorry.
No, no, no. Yeah, so I can't say I can't say they weren't supposed to do it because they did it. So, or they're trying to do it and is it should they be able to? Maybe they should be able to.
Right.
Um so it's I enjoy knowing what the movie is supposed to be. So for so
But
yeah, so I do enjoy knowing that um as a GM. But that being said, I I get in my own head too much to be able to do it as often as I'd like to.
to be
Well,
honest, I mean, I like to get surprised as a GM too.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. As I said, because you have to actually, I have to figure out, okay, how does this work now that the players are going to do this? So that is a very interesting. Um, I do really enjoy. I enjoy when players do something that I wasn't expecting because wow, how does this work now? Because people talk about players breaking the game, and it's just like, well, there's different ways to say that players break the game. Did they find out what you were trying to do too early, and now you have to create a whole new thing? Hey, it's not like they broke it; they just did what they do.
yeah,
So
they're just good players.
yeah, they're just good players. They had an idea. So it's it's
Do
really
you,
Okay,
I really
Lisa, I think you're muted.
Lisa
I'm muted
Lisa.
Uh,
again.
Oh,
no, no, okay, okay. You're just miming.
Do you find that playing with GMs is harder than playing with just your standard non-GM players? Because I do. Because GMs have a tendency, after they've been doing it for a while, in my opinion, they know how GMs think and they start to apply that to as they're playing. And
So, yeah,
yes.
almost everyone I play with is a GM.
Mm-hmm.
Yuri has only run like 3 things ever.
Mm-hmm.
Max once ran a whole campaign. Matt GMs on the channel pretty frequently. Alan does it all the time. And the backlog people all GM whenever I can get them to. So I don't know if it's different. Like I said, even my very first game, we all rotated in and out. The only person who was in that game that never ran an adventure for it for a while was Yuri. But what I find is sometimes because of that GM mind, they can see behind the curtain a little bit, not
Yes.
in terms of plot secrets that I may have up my sleeve, but like why I'm doing certain things in the moment. They might see, oh, Steve wants us to go that way. But what I find even more often with some of my players in particular is that they think they figured out what I want them to do, when in fact I'm just waiting to see what they'll do. Like if I mention an option, they're like, "Oh, Steve wants us to go that way." I've got this whole thing mapped out, man. Do what you want.
mhm.
Do you find that GM players tend to try to be helpful that way when they play?
Try to what?
Try to be helpful, like, okay, so Steve is giving us this direction. We must clearly go in the direction because this is exactly what Steve has planned for us.
Yes, yes, that happens. I also do it.
Mhm.
Um, I don't state it that way, but there are times when I'm like, I know my character would X, Y, Z, but clearly the GM is pointing a big glowing arrow that way. We gotta go that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that
And
as a player as well.
all the more so because I play in limited time episodes where I
Mm.
might not do that if we just had an open ended campaign home game. I might be
Rob,
like, my character would not go that way, you know. But we got to be done by 11:30. I'm not going to waste time.
what about you, Carl? Do you find the GM that running a game for other GMs is more difficult, easier? I mean, do you feel like it gives you more space to be creative, or you know, what's the pros and cons of running a game for other GMs versus just standard players?
I
And I say standard
I
players, it
don't
sounds
really think
terrible.
that I've noticed such a distinction, to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like sit down, we're playing a game. It's like I haven't noticed any particular difference.
Hmm.
What about you, Kim?
Um, I the only times that I've had all players that were not GMs would be at conventions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole separate thing as well because you don't know anybody. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know the people. So you you don't know what you're getting in the first place. So you have to be very open. So so that's sort of different. But most of the games that I GM and that I play, I'm playing with other GMs in the audience, most of them. So I real and I do think that when I play, I do think I do a lot of what Steve was saying, and I think Carl had mentioned about, yeah, it looks like they want us to go this way. Yeah, let's go that way. Let's see what the story is saying, and then
Right.
we'll get into shenanigans and hijinks. But let's at least move in the direction of the story so we can see what is laid out for us, and then we'll figure out how much we mess it up afterward.
Yeah, well, there's a give and take, right? Because on the one hand, as someone said in the chat a minute ago, um, the players making moves the GM didn't expect is part of the
Hmm.
experience. If you don't want that, write a book.
Right,
But on
right,
the other
right,
hand, you need player buy-in. You have to
mhm,
do what the GM is asking you to do to some
mhm,
extent,
right,
or else you're just not participating.
mhm,
Mhm.
So there's a line to walk.
mhm.
Yes.
Mm. Kind of thing like, hey, if you don't go on the adventure isn't coming to you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and GMs, I think, understand that and want to get things moving. It's
Mhm.
like let's play the game. We're here to play the game, so let's play. Let's go into the creepy abandoned house,
That's kind of
because
thing.
we
It's
want to
like,
see what happens.
mm,
Yeah, so that's the
yeah,
game.
that's a kind of thing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if you're sitting at the table, then you're sitting there because you want to play the game.
Right.
Right.
So whether you're a game master or a player or whatever. In the meantime, Chris also mentioned the hardest thing, and really the only hard thing I found about my live stream GM debut on Tales from the Backlog last night was that I had to be far more heavy-handed than I would have liked with play due to time constraints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that is one reason I saw that comment as well. That is one reason why we have altered the format of that show a little bit over time. There was a good chunk of time where it was almost always one shots. A
Mhm.
couple of years we were playing a new game every single week, and that was hard on the mental load of learning a new game every week. Some of
Oh
those
yeah,
games we didn't play very well, um, but also it's just this thing like Chris is saying in the chat where it's like sometimes you just want a little more breathing room than 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm off camera, which it doesn't happen much, I always allot 4 hours for a session. And
you
that's
know,
that's because I'm used to 3 hours, but I don't have to rush now. If
Mm.
I can get up and go to the bathroom when I want. I can waste time. The extra hour just to dick around, basically.
Right.
yeah. The thing is that, for example, for me, I find that 4 hours is usually very exhausting for me. It's like my concentration doesn't allow me to work past possibly 3 hours on a good day.
Hmm.
And that's both as a GM and as a player. I mean,
But if it were in segments, like Steve's show, where the following week it's another, you're just picking up from
no,
where you left off.
I mean, in one sitting. I mean, in one sitting.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So I mean, like, so it amazes me when people, oh yeah, I have a 6 hour session. It's like, why?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
in ye olden times, we used to do 8-hour sessions.
Oh
but it was-
yeah.
yeah. A
Yeah,
6
but
hour.
it-
Like, yeah, when I
it
was
wouldn't-
young, I think that I think I did that when I was younger as well. But it's like,
yeah, but we were only
things
gaming
like
once
this,
a
yeah.
month.
What Carl said when I was younger. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 8-hour, 12-hour sessions. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can go for a 6 hour session, like as a party, because that's basically how I started. You have everybody come over, you have everybody bring something, you're hanging out, you're playing off and on for 6 hours, 8 hours. That's fun for me. That's like a party, basically. 6 hours as a 6 hours online. Yeah, I mean, still good. I mean, it's still good. I can still do it. I don't think I've done have we done a 6 hour game? Maybe. I know we've done some long ones. So I know
Yeah,
we've
we
done like
have.
5 or so.
Yeah.
But
That's
but you
quite
need
standard. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, in person, it's probably much easier to stay focused.
Yeah.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
step away. You can take a break. You can go to the bathroom, get something to eat.
Eat pizza, charcuterie.
We
Robert says we run our D&D game for 4 hours per session, but the Cyberpunk game is 6 to 8 hours per game. Interesting that the genre makes a difference,
Well, maybe it's just the group that makes a difference.
or it could be the group that makes a difference. A good point.
Interesting.
Good point.
Good point.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is it, Robert?
yeah. And he says he only strictly plays at the table in real life. I wish we all had that option. I would love to be able to do
Yep.
that. I envy Steve because he can do that.
La di da. Live
Well,
people. Ooh.
I
I
know,
began-
like real people breathing the same air I am. It's amazing.
I began Tales from the Backlog during the lockdown when nobody had that option. And then, we made so many friends far away that we wanted to keep playing with that we just still have it.
Mhm. But you also
So-
have friends close by that you could do live game with, so that's very cool.
I got 2 shows.
Yeah, yeah.
So Robert is saying it's also the same group.
It's the same.
Also, Chris, no, Chris.
Uh-oh.
So Robert, what do you think that makes the difference in time? Is it like the rules is just like that you get more into the game? What's the why the difference in time?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Well, I personally, if I had a live group to play with, I could go 6 hours or more. Again, because we can step away from the table for a moment, get something to eat, relax, rest the eyes a bit, and then come back to it. But when you're online, looking at a computer screen for more than 4 hours, tough, very tough.
That's called
Yeah,
having a job.
yes, we do. Say again, Steve?
Charcuterie.
So that's called having a job for some of us.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So do you find, I mean, we talked about the genres, what we like to play. Robert says it's a day of the week, D&D, we play on
okay.
Tuesday, and Cyberpunk we play on Saturday, and Cyberpunk group we do dinner too. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, you're putting a meal in there,
Yeah.
and that'll up the time for sure.
Mhm. Man, I do love college days when we would order just a big gigantic 2 or 3 pizzas for that matter with just 4 people. Beer, and just sit there at the table munching pizza while we're playing. That was miss those
Yeah, it's
days.
great.
Yeah, good
That was
times.
great.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. I lost my question. Save me, somebody. Pick up the call. Pick up the conversation, because I can't remember my question now.
That'd be like.
So what's better, seals or manatees?
God, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I think I'm going to go with seals. They're kind of cuter.
All right.
I'm going to throw a wrench in there. Better for what?
Just what's a better animal? Better at fulfilling your needs in an animal.
Ew, no, neither.
No, damn it.
Gross. Ew, Steve.
No, listen. Don't say ooh, Steve, like I did it.
Seals.
Okay. Now, not having tasted manatees, I would say that yeah, still seal because they kind of taste like fish, but they're not too bad.
I'm not talking about eating the seal. I'm just, in a Viking game, to have a seal come up through the floor, evil ghost seal come up through the floor, that's very Norwegian. It's great.
Whatever criteria works for you is fine.
So I can't remember the question I was going to ask, but so if you had to stick with one, if you had to stick with a 4-hour game, like online, like for instance, Chris runs a online gaming convention called Crit, which, by the way, people, when it comes up this year, and I don't know the dates, but Chris, if you know, give it to us. Get on that, because that is so much fun. And Kim has run games on it, and Carl has run games on it. Steve, have you run any games on Crit?
Yeah, the first time last year.
Yeah, me too.
That's where Kim and I met.
Oh yeah,
Is it?
yeah, true.
Yeah, well, I think we'd come across each other on socials because we had a lot of mutuals. But yeah, I ran Daggerheart.
Yep.
Mhm.
It was really fun.
Mm-hmm. I ran 2 Call of Cthulhu games, and Crit is June 20th to the 28th, 2026, with early bird games in Juneteenth. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Wait, hold on. Let me get my calendar.
No, Grit was the first place I ran a game for people I didn't know beforehand. So
Oh, really?
I was, yeah, absolutely. I was really worried about that before, but I mean, after the first session, it was like, okay, these are nice people. I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what? That is the case for me as well, I think. I have had individuals at the table that I didn't know before, but a whole group of strangers, Crit was the first time.
Yeah. Same with me. I found that Crit really made me hone fit it into a particular time frame skill. I had to make that game fit into a 3 to 4 hour time slot. So, which means one shot. It's definitely not going to be a campaign, and it means getting the players from the beginning to the end without cutting it too short and without making it slog. So that was a challenge, in my opinion. I don't know. What did you guys think?
It always is. Actually, that's a good question for Steve because you've got to fit everything into episodes. Do you have any good advice for pacing or pushing things along or so on?
So yeah, I do. And it's not my advice. It comes from Monty Martin of the Dungeon Dudes, who told it. I think he might have said it in a live stream, but way back when they were only a little bit famous, I was on their Patreon and we used to talk around the time I was starting my show. And they gave me some advice because they'd been doing Drakkenheim at that point for a while. But one thing Monty said that helped me was just have one set piece event before the break and after the break, because I copied their format flat out. 3-hour show, break in the middle, halfway through. So just have one thing, whether it's going to be a big RP scene or a combat or whatever, something one thing in the first half, one thing in the second half, and you're done.
Mhm.
That's the episode. And that applies whether it's an ongoing campaign or a one shot. It's just that if it's a one shot, that second big thing better be the climax.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So just have two big things, roughly around. Okay.
Yeah, and if you've got a good team of role players, which I do, um, every now and then you can just tell them before the session, guys, I don't have much, fill the time, and they'll do it. They'll talk in character for as long as I let them.
Hmm. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Robert says, there is something about playing online that I just don't like. I don't know what it is, but I get distracted or bored and disinterested. My son prefers online gaming. I don't think it's for me. When online gaming, for me, when it first started happening during COVID, because I had been playing in person up to that point, I felt somewhat the same. I was, I felt too distanced from everybody in the game, and it just didn't have any allure to me at first. But because it was COVID and I had to game because
Yeah.
it's in my blood,
Right.
I got used to it, and over time, I mean, do I prefer in-person playing? Yes, absolutely. I prefer that over anything. But if I have to play, if I would need to play an online game, not a problem, and especially because a lot of the people that I love to play with are nowhere near me. Carl and
Right.
Kim, you guys, I love playing with you guys, but chances of us getting together on a weekly basis for an in-person game, no, not going to happen.
I think I could drive to your house in 2.5 hours. This is maybe.
You're 2.5 hours away from me.
Where are you at?
No, you're in Lawndale or Torrance area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
very
thought you
close to
were like
me.
San Diego area.
No, I'm in Lakewood. I'm right next to Long Beach. I'm on the border of Orange County.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we're very
Yeah.
close.
Well, we've still never met in person.
No, we haven't. What's with that?
I don't know, man. Talk to Alan. Maybe he'll let you do a guest spot in the Shadows of Archonia game. What was I going to say? Online versus in person. Obviously, I think myself included, I think the vast majority of us prefer in person games, but there are pros and cons to both. We've got. I know I have my camera way far away from my monitor today, but yeah, I'm looking at you guys right now. But yeah, like if I had to, if they were both in person, I would not have 2 games a week, show or otherwise. It's too much, and especially since I am also the host, it's like, yeah, I just I can't do it. Monday nights are great because it's like I get a game in, but I don't have to like set up the room or sweep the floor or anything. Like I just come in my office and hit go. And of course, because it's a show, I do a lot more than that. But on Fridays, I got to do all that stuff plus, host people in person.
Charcuterie board and
Yeah,
wine
yeah. I
wine
mean, I
bar.
don't know. Yuri does the food usually, or Sarah, but yeah, like especially when we finish and it's 11:30 to midnight somewhere in there. Uh, on Mondays, I just hit off and I go to bed. That's it. On Fridays, it's like, how long is it gonna take for you guys to pack up and get out of here? I mean, I love you guys, but come on.
Sure.
I'm tired.
Especially when it's been a really good game and they all want to stay afterwards and go, that was so cool when XYZ happened, and oh my gosh, he like totally like killed that thing, and
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, Matt usually bounces quick, but that's because Matt has crazy hours. He works on film sets, so he's either not working at all or he's getting up at 4 a.m.
Oof.
Oh my. No.
Yeah.
Chris says, I like online gaming, obviously, and I have no problem playing with new people. Randos are just friends I haven't gamed with yet. I still enjoy the intimacy and table spectacle of in-person gaming. Yes, sir.
Randos.
there's a lot more nuance to the role play, I think, when you're in person too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like
Mhm.
you can't really get smaller cues. Then there's the thing about the timing because I mean, if you're playing over Discord or whatever, there isn't much lag, but there's still some lag, and the timing is just off sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also, I think it's really hard when you have, for the role players at the table, to have that dramatic moment between two players online
Yeah.
than it is in the personal.
Plus, I
So,
mean, like online, you can't really use terrain, which is like,
true. True. But when you have bizarre terrain like what I make, it doesn't matter.
I think I said this on one of our previous streams. What I would really love to do would be basically the escape room game where you're actually moving around and doing things and unlocking things and looking at pictures that are actually hung up on the walls and putting those clues together. So yeah, so that's what I would love to do.
Yes, I agree. That would be a lot of fun. You know what I've always wanted to do was do a Halloween walkthrough, haunt walkthrough, and have puzzles in those that were like escape room things. But the things you can't, but the problem is you can't do that with a Halloween walkthrough because then people spend too much time doing the puzzle and they don't get out and you get a line and people start yelling at you and then your begonias get stomped on and then the cat gets mad and, you know, it's a whole
The
nightmare.
whole thing.
It's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
so basically, what you'd like to do is to trap people in your house for Halloween.
Mhm.
Well, if you put it that way, yes.
All the manatees and seals, watch out. Don't go near Lisa's house.
Southern California, we have a lot of that Halloween where you'll see, not a lot, I'm not saying that every house does it, but you will see there are houses here and there scattered around where they will set up a garage or walk through their backyard where you go through kind of a haunted house deal. And they're a lot of fun. They're scary. Sometimes they're just dumb, but they do a really good job. They build whole dungeons and talking heads coming up through tables and all kinds of stuff. It's great. So Chris says, Op Noir is a metric pain in the to run in person. I did it twice, and the third time just put the VTT on our living room TV and had everyone control tokens and dice from their mobile phones.
Okay, that is interesting. Why is it a problem to why is it more of a problem to run in person than using VTT?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is interesting. I have some ideas possibly, but yeah, what is the actual issue, Chris?
I mean, yeah, I feel having played the game this week,
Mhm.
I feel I could have run it in person with the amount of cyberpunk and terrain, like cyberpunk miniatures and terrain that I now own. But it certainly makes sense that a lot of people don't own that much. We do because we have a show, so we make it a point to have the miniatures, featured when we can, and because it's not just me buying it. My players chip in, and sometimes my
Of course.
players are the GM, especially for the cyberpunk stuff, and they buy the stuff. So there's enough stuff in my house that I could have probably, I think, created all the scenes that Chris had us in, or a version of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But also thanks to many lessons from Scotty, it's all built in such a modular fashion, that I can use some of the same stuff to make a whole different scene.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. It requires having 4 dozen inconspicuous normie miniatures for your target individuals to blend into.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of
There is a scarcity of civilian miniatures. Everybody's got a weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a good amount. Have a good amount of medieval fantasy setting civilians, but very few modern or cyberpunk ones. But we would just use the guys with guns.
Yeah, everyone's got a gun.
Yeah.
So that brings up a question as far as playing in person and playing online. Do you prefer to GM? If you're playing online, do you prefer to GM or do you prefer to play as a player? If you're playing in person, do you prefer to GM or do you prefer to be a player? So that's a good question I'm going to throw out at you guys.
I don't know that I can say why off the top of my head. I feel that I prefer being a player in our online games, and I prefer being a GM in person. I think maybe it's because there's so much more going on when you're the GM. It kind of just removes one of the barriers to have the people right there with you.
Mm-hmm. Would
that's
part of it also be the fact that you have excellent terrain to put on the table and it's stuff that you make?
Yeah. Some of it is stuff that I make,
Mhm.
but yeah, that could be part of it. That wasn't really what I was thinking, but like when we do have, yeah, I think that's part of it. Yeah.
Mhm. Kim, where are you on that?
It's the same either way, I think, for me. Whether it's online or in person, I think it's the same. I prefer being the GM.
Okay. Carl?
Doesn't really make a difference for me, really. I'm okay in either seat in either medium.
Cool.
Lisa,
What?
how do you feel?
What's your answer?
That's a good question. I think I'm 50-50 as far as
You're
GMing and
open.
playing. I love playing, but I also love GMing. I don't get to GM very much at all, and so it's a real treat for me when I do. Like I'm going to be GMing.
What does much mean for you, Lisa?
I play if I give you a ratio of playing versus GMing, I play 80% and GM 20%.
No. I mean, you don't get to GM much. So how many times do you go? Like, what's your average amount of times getting to GM? Like on a monthly
Within
basis?
Same amount, yeah.
0 most of the time.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, just to put this out there, Carl, I know in your case the time difference makes it more or less impossible. But Lisa and Kim, you are welcome to put games on the backlog schedule anytime you want to run something. Just let me know.
That is tempting.
And Carl, you too. But like I said,
Yeah, I could potentially do it if I get enough coffee in my system, but I suspect the players wouldn't like it very much.
Why do you say that?
Because I could get pretty intensive, with all that coffee.
Oh, come on.
I love gritty. Go for it.
Sounds like fun.
Yes, it does.
Too gritty for backlog would be something I'd like to see.
I mean, like, one of my favorite sessions was the time when I think it was some weird hour of the night here, but and I'd had a long day at work, and the game had dragged on a bit. So basically, I left. I think it was yeah. There was Chris, there was Tom, Lisa, and Kim. Uh, the players I just gave them this kind of weird moral problem, and I just left them arguing together for about 15 to 20 minutes while I had a nap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outstanding.
Yeah, but it's not to say we didn't like it.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, Thomas
No,
is.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. You guys, you guys were into it because after I woke up, you were still going at it for another 5 minutes before I stopped you to see what you wanted to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because you'd said that you don't think the players would like it. It's like, well, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I was having a nap then. I wasn't hyper caffeinated.
Ah,
That's funny. Yeah, Thomas is ready to pick that up again. He's been asking me. He says, "When are we going to pick that up again? Huh? Huh? Huh?"
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, "I don't know."
we should. But I hate to leave a story arc unfinished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since he's on the brink of death, yeah, he is too.
He was fine.
He was fine.
Dang. Don't be such a baby.
I mean, you had taken him to the cow doctor, no? He was fine.
He was fine.
Don't-
I very much would like to try to play in person with you at some point, Steve. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think twice we had that 10 candles idea going, and then it just kind of fell through. So
One time, I'm pretty sure you were on your way here when I canceled, right?
yeah, actually, I was sitting in the El Pollo Inca restaurant in Lawndale. I don't know if you know where that is. Excellent restaurant. Go to it.
There's a bunch of those.
On Hawthorne Boulevard.
Yeah,
On
Yeah.
Hawthorne and 91. I was sitting there in the restaurant eating my favorite dish from that, ready to go to your place. And you're
yeah,
like,
that's a
"Oops."
bummer because I was like, we since replaced the plumbing because it happened again last year,
Mm.
and turns out there was tree roots growing through our drain pipe.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was not a cheap fix.
Mm. Yeah, we had that too. Sorry.
Yeah, we're a single bathroom household, and major plumbing issue occurred the night Lisa was supposed to come and run 10 candles for us, like an hour before.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Was a sign.
it was a sign.
Yeah.
So as far as gaming style as a GM, what is your style, do you think? Are you kind of a like dark, gritty GM? Are you more, like Scotty is like, let's just have fun. Let's get on here and just like have a blast and scream and laugh and have a good time. And then, then you've got the I guess you could say the mystery GM kind of, not, which is not so much gritty, but more, very serious. Let's play this, in character and, focused on the actual tone of the game.
So mix. I said recently to someone I would not want to play at a table where no one was allowed to goof around.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
But I never have, and I'm not in danger of that. At the same time, I do appreciate, both as a GM and as a player, when everyone is true to the tone that the GM is trying to set. I try to do that in Alan's Shadow Dark game. I'm playing a charisma character, which, when I do it at least, inherently makes it a little silly. But I'm also playing the king of a collapsed tribe of Vikings that been given a divine destiny to lead the clan to greatness again. And I try to make it clear that my character is taking that very seriously, even though I, as a player, may be having fun with it at times. I'm still not interested in just goofing around the whole time. I
Having
think,
one tone, having
Sorry.
one tone is really boring after a while.
What's that?
I said having just one tone is really boring after a while. I mean, you need to loosen up sometimes.
Absolutely. And comedy sometimes just highlights the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Kim, what about you?
Repeat the question, please.
So if you're GMing a game,
Mhm.
do you prefer, depending on the type of GM you are, if you're playing a ultra serious game, Do you want your players to be ultra serious, no kidding around at the table, no joking around? Would you rather play a lighthearted game where everyone can laugh and talk and scream and just be crazy? Or are you a really gritty GM that where it's dark and there's going to be mayhem? What is the tone? Are you demanding of your players?
Demand is a hard word, but
Demand.
especially with you knuckleheads.
Yeah.
But I would say that I would, um, no matter how serious the actual tone is, it's supposed to be fun. So there
Mhm.
should be fun happening. There'll be jokes. And of course, if now the only thing is that if the players are so completely off the rails and not really paying attention, not getting the information, then that's the only time that something might end up happening because you didn't find the stuff you're supposed to find because you weren't looking. I mean, you were doing this instead of looking for your clues. So maybe something happens because of that. But it's supposed to be fun, no matter how serious the topic of the game is. It's supposed to be fun,
Yeah.
even if it's scary.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
also would say there's a real darkness to Scotty's games.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Oh yes.
I mean, we're talking about Scotty as an example of someone who's lighthearted and goofy, but yeah, then he's got like the human centipede in there or whatever. Like, nah, that is horrifying. I've never played a Scotty game where I wasn't horrified by something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, and one of the things that Scotty does, which I love, it is such a great tool, and a lot of people have difficulty with it, but a lot of people also love it because clearly, it's fun. Is that moral dilemma?
Mm.
It's got that moral dilemma piece at the end. Was like, okay, you have to make a choice, but neither choice is exactly great. There's going to be consequences one way or the other, and I love those.
I mean, if it wasn't a difficult choice, then there would not be a point to the choice at all.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like if,
Yep.
if there was
Ex-
an obvious answer, yeah, it's like. But yeah, I love to have that kind of choice in games. But the way Scotty does it is he slides them in like so. Basically, he lets the players put themselves into the situation where they have to choose,
yes.
and he's really good at making that happen naturally.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a. Oh, wait, but there was something here from Lawrence. Hello, Lawrence.
Hey,
He
Lawrence.
likes the grim horror style of game that Sean runs, um, and that Carl has been playing with. Yes, absolutely, I agree. That's
That's a very gothic pulp horror is, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. That's my stint too. I love horror games, things that are. I love putting even in D&D. If I'm doing D&D, I like putting in things that are kind of creepy, unexpected, things that are shocking or unsettling, so that it adds a different layer of flavor onto just the okay, let's go kill this thing and get some money. Which is I think one of the reasons why I like Call of Cthulhu so much is that it's more than just playing a character that's gonna go out and you know get hired to do a quest and kill the beast and get the money and become famous and wonderful. There's a personal impact in the Call of Cthulhu, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Think about it. Call of Cthulhu is that choice you just mentioned because you can either pretend nothing happened and just let everything go to hell, or try to do something at a great personal risk to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every session, every character has to make the choice, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. I really, Kim, I'm going to pick on you for a minute here. I really
Mhm.
like on your videos where the stories that you've posted, where you've been showing off your crafting skills, but you apply a storyline to all those crafts, and I love how you do that. I really do. Your storylines are very interesting and have such depth. I mean, I really enjoy them. Just wanted to put that out there. And
I
now, any of
appreciate
you
that.
who have not checked out Questboard Terrain's channel and seen some of those, run. Well, wait till the end of this, then run and,
Yes.
and go look at that because they're wonderful.
I appreciate that. I was trying to get one out today, but hopefully by the weekend.
Just start at the beginning, just binge watch the entire channel, just follow the entire Kim Extended Cinematic Universe, because I mean, you can watch the videos individually, but they make it's not more interesting to watch the entire story progressing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. I did put all of them together into one. So I'm trying to go through it and normalize the audio and
Oh,
edit
nice.
it out, at least for the first season. Season.
Interesting.
So it'll end up being like a 2-hour video
Fair enough.
going
Wow.
from the beginning to the end. But I have to figure out what things I might need to actually redo because my audio's gotten better, and so there are a couple of things, but that's one thing I'm working on. Thank you
So
very
you're
much for the kind words, everyone.
oh sure you're just saying the truth. The storyline between season 1 and season 2, are they this along the same storyline, or are they separate storylines entirely?
Well, they're meant to separate storylines, but as I said, things like unfold in my head. So
Mm-hmm.
if for some reason they end up crossing, I don't know. That's not the plan. But they are supposed to be two separate storylines.
Okay. Kim's folding brain can bring out some very interesting
Mm,
storylines.
thank you. My folding brain.
Your
Brain
folding
and
brain.
brain. What is brain?
What is brain?
Brain and brain.
I'm glad I was
So,
able to come on today. I've been sick all week.
oh
Oh no.
no.
Yeah, I pulled off the show Monday night, but then Tuesday's real bad. I was supposed to actually have my friend Max from the Friday show. He was supposed to come over and hang out. We were going to talk world building and stuff. I'd be like, bro, you might want to rethink. And a good thing he did, because I was like, I'll still hang out, but fair warning, I'm sick. He chose not to come, and good thing, because an hour later I was a complete corpse. It was a mess. But I'm better today.
I died,
Anyway,
but I got better.
Yeah.
I got there.
I got better. Laura says, of course I would know nothing of grim horrors as I look at baby head pillars. Yeah.
Baby head pillars.
The masking tape,
Beautiful,
the
beautiful
masking tape
baby
works
head
on this
pillars.
wall. Those are nice hard lines that I can't get freehand. This is good.
mhm.
Ah,
Mhm.
cool.
So when you're GMing and you have the flavor of your game going, do you find, and do you ever find a need to make it like as the game progresses and the players make certain decisions to suddenly have to pivot on that? And how often does that happen for you? Do you ever find that you're like the tone has suddenly moved from being dark and mysterious to more adventurous and let's just go beat this thing up, and the tone of that changing in game, is that an issue for you? Do you find that happening a lot for you
I
guys?
don't. I think adjusting for what the players have done that you didn't expect if you're not doing that 100 times a session,
Mhm.
something's wrong.
Right.
But to the extent that it changes the tone of the game, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, the playing, the improvisation
Yeah.
aspect for a GM is so critical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're a
So
good
fun.
improvisational GM?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. I have run games on camera with 10 minutes notice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's if it's especially if it's a system I'm very familiar with, like I was with D&D 5e at the time. Yeah, I can sit down and make it up as we go. And very often, even in my campaigns where I do have things planned out, very often really significant plot points will be improvised on the fly.
Wow. That is impressive. I
Yeah.
can't say I've done that.
Well, it's impressive in a way, but only it's impressive in that way, but it is to compensate for the fact that I'm really not that great at prep. And everyone has different styles when it comes to. You asked about DM styles earlier in the show, and that's where I thought you were going, was improvisation versus preparation.
We certainly can go there.
Yeah, I think the balance for me is prepare the world, but not any story points. Create a scenario and then hand it over to the players. And then
Mhm.
all the specifics of what happened, you got to improvise.
Right.
But you can, because you know how those characters would react.
Lauren says, of course I would know nothing of grim horrors as I look, baby. Oh, sorry. Well, intuitive improvisation is a key to genius. Yes, agreed. Agreed. I am 50-50 on mine. When I prep, I do a lot of prep, but again, it's mostly world building, like you were mentioning. I prep the basic storyline, what they're going to be going up against, and have get the stats set up for whatever they may be coming up against, if there's combat, so forth and so on, and then the logistics of. I try to get the logistics. That's the last part I do, is logistics. Is if you're doing rooms or what have you. That's the last part I do. So prepping for me takes. I have to have at least an hour to prep something. I can't do it on the fly like 10 minutes. That's crazy. But I like improv. I like, okay, here's what you're up against. Go. See what happens. What about you, Carl?
At least I've gone was maybe about an hour of prep. But to be fair, I think the most I've gone is probably 2 hours of prep, so it's not there isn't that much of a variation there. Usually, I just try to keep the key points that I want to hit during the game. But it's pretty loose. So, for example, there might be like, okay, there's this clue that you need to find. Where you find it and how you get it is just entirely up to what happens in Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Like you will get this clue. Sorry, I know you will get this clue. I don't know how you will get it yet.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We can figure it out later.
Right. Kim, what about you?
I am a wreck. As I said, I spend way too much prepping. The couple of times that I have tried, and I've gotten better at it, I'm gone as minimal as possible, which is a problem now because I did do some things minimally, and now, as I said before, I'm trying to turn them into adventures. So now I have to put more stuff back in, more anticipated things. So it's sort of weird trying to have something that I have a general outline. Here's an example. There's an adventure that I did for Crit, and I think everyone has played it now, except for Steve, um, as play testing. So I tried to make it very actually it was very closed. I made it very closed, and I realized, okay, after the play test, no, it has to be more open. So I opened it up more. I I allowed for a lot more improvisation. But now when I'm trying to write it as an adventure for uh another GM, someone else to run it, now I have to sort of put back more of that anticipated things just in case they want don't have the experience and aren't able to improvise as much and don't know their players as well or don't know the system as well. So I want to make sure, because I had brought that up to some other people who do adventures, and they were looking for more um they were looking for more meat in it for someone to be able to anticipate things. So I was like, okay, now I've got to add stuff back in. So I am basically a wreck right now trying to figure out where the sweet spot is for me. I have done one adventure that was completely no prep, but I was using an adventure that I'd already run, but I didn't have the adventure in front of me, and people just sort of wanted to do something, so we played a game. It was D&D. We played a D&D game. Um, so so I just ran it using some of the stuff that I could remember from the adventure, and I think it was fun. I mean, they were laughing, they were having fun, they enjoyed it. So I can do it, and I know I can do it. It's just if I have the time, I like having every single possibility at my fingertips, even though that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense to have every single possibility because players are going to do something else anyway. So, but I try to I overthink it. So I'm better at it, I think. But I feel better when I have lots of fallback in my brain already.
I have
That's
two
one
questions.
reason.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. I was just going to say that's one reason I prefer to, when I'm in a system that I know, I prefer to run my own content rather than
Mhm.
run published adventures.
Mhm.
Because if it's a published adventure, I will be too afraid to improvise story points because, uh, especially if I haven't finished reading it by the time we start, which happens, um,
Mhm.
I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up something that comes later.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to undo a major plot point. Where
Mm.
if it's my world and my characters and my story, I can improvise within it without fear of what I might be screwing up later in the story.
Right.
Mhm. Makes
So
sense.
I have two things I want to jump and throw in here before I forget them because I've done that twice already. Where I had a question in my mind, I forgot what it was. So one is, do you find that prepping for online games is more difficult than prepping for personal games?
Cool.
And there goes the other one. It's gone.
Yeah.
But Chris says ability and preference are two different dimensions when it comes to game prep and GMing. I can go into a game with zero prep and keep some enjoyable action going for 3 hours, but I do not prefer it.
Mhm. Mhm. I can understand that, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you find that prepping is different for, as a GM, do you find prepping for an online game is different from prepping for personals?
No difference.
No difference whatsoever.
Except if there's going to be a big combat. If it's an in-person game, I'm probably building a set with terrain, and I
Mhm.
won't do that online. Occasionally, you will use a VTT. Most of the time, we don't. We just go theater of the mind when we're on our online games. But if I was going to use a VTT, then probably no difference.
Okay. Carl, what about you?
Not really a difference.
No difference for you.
No, not
Kim?
really.
For me, it does depend on it depends because, as I said, what I want to do is have that ridiculously immersive environment. I'd said before, when I had people at the house, I made the columns
Mm-hmm.
out of water jugs stacked up to the and brown paper, and I plastered the walls, and I cut
Wow.
up little beads so I could give them money. I mean, which was stupid. That was just too much stuff.
Oh, that's
But
great.
yeah, but that's what I want in a face-to-face game. So yes, a face-to-face game, it would be a lot, and I'd be setting up the table. I'd made these little glasses with everybody's names engraved in them or etched in
Wow.
them with etching cream, because I wanted it to be that kind of experience. So when they came back, they had their glasses, they had all that kind of stuff.
That is
So
cool.
yeah, so it is more. It is more for me if it's a live one, because I want to hang out, but I really want like a I want it to I want to feel like I'm in a castle or a cave or a field or whatever as with the music is hard though.
Yeah,
But music
music's
cues are
fun.
hard. But I want all that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would be harder for me for a live game.
I'm
Okay,
exactly the opposite.
Kim standards are pretty high. In my case, if you're coming over to play at my place, I'd probably tell you to bring your own chair.
Not just bring your
Yeah.
own chair, bring your own dice, bring your own beer, bring your own snacks. Yeah, the whole thing.
Everybody should be bringing their own dice,
They
Yes.
should, but
except my friends because they leave the dice here. I have little drawers on the table.
people should, but I always gotta have dice.
Yeah, I have a big bag of dice too, just for that purpose. I'm the exact opposite of Kim. I spend more time preparing online games than I do in-person games. In-person games, for some reason, when I run an in-person game, I find it easier to do theater of the mind. Somehow I'm able to convey it in person, get the idea into their brain better of what's happening in the game than I am online. Online, there seems to be more of a demand to see maps, for me anyway, for my players, more of a demand to see maps and what does this building look like and how tall is this and that. And so there's a lot of getting something something visual onto the online game for them to refer to. At least that's my experience so far.
Guys, as you know, I got 2 kids, and I always have to bounce early when I come visit you. It's close to that time, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Good heads
I'm
up.
just gonna thank you for the heads up. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna throw this out there that Chris says, I think it also makes a difference what genre and style of game you intend to run. A mapless dungeon and no prep is fine for classic fantasy. Dungeon crawl, those same strategies suck for mysteries. And yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed completely. Love making a good VTT setup for a game, even if it could be a sandbox. Yeah.
Yeah, well, for example, the game he ran for us on Monday, it was a mystery, and the VTT came in very handy, not for the combat, but for the scenario, the part of the scenario where we're walking around a crowded area talking to different NPCs, just
Yes.
having visual markers of who those NPCs were and where they were standing was if we'd had to do that scene, theater of the mind, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been a mess.
Yeah. And my go-to game to run is, as you guys know, Call of Cthulhu. So, and I do it mostly online. So I tend to put a lot of visuals into the VTT so that it can give a feel of what, because I think Call of Cthulhu is a much more visual game, because it's what the things that you see that cause you to lose sanity and things that you experience. So it's very visual.
But I think you've even got stuff like, for example, showing room locations or stuff like that. It's pretty immersive.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
I think even at the table, I mean, like putting down a photo at the table kind of helps the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why most published adventures have a lot of these handouts like newspaper cuttings and things like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely. Agreed. How is your dice box coming along there, guys? Both of you, by the way, are working on dice towers of one way or another, which is interesting.
Mine I mean, it's in stages. You know, the masking tape has helped. I still need to clean up the edges a lot. I gotta wait for it to dry before I do too much more.
Yeah, I'm just playing with the other side. I'm just trying to
Oh,
figure out
wow.
what the yeah, this is the first side. I still have to like do a wash and some highlighting, and I've got a couple of other things to do.
Yeah.
But this is mostly done.
I'm
But
going
so
to
I'm
throw
just
out something. You're going to hate me for saying it, Kim.
oh, how do you know I don't hate you right now, Lisa?
Well, actually, I know you already hate me already, so it's okay. I'm safe.
The
um,
self-esteem needs some work, guys.
color shifting paint.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered using that?
Well, have you been looking? Have you been watching?
I have, but but my screen is terrible. So, oh, it is color shifting. Okay, so
And I'm using medium.
nice.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm
Nice.
just trying a couple different things. So it might not even look like this the next time you see it, but I just wanted to do something different on the other side.
Yeah,
But
I
yes,
don't know.
metallics, color shift, and I'm also thinking of glow paint. I'm thinking of all the different types of like paints that exist. So I'm just
Yeah, it's
throwing
looking
everything
great.
at it. I'm throwing everything at it.
Steve,
right
that's
now.
coming along. How much more do you have left to go on that one, though?
I mean, a lot. I've got a first or second coat on the whole thing,
Mhm.
but I think I've talked to you guys about this. I'm making it for our friend Reggie's short film. He wants to use it as a film miniature to double a real building, which means
Oh,
my normal level of detail is not sufficient for this one. Um, we'll see. We'll see if I can do that for him. I was thinking maybe I can pull that off, but the more time I put into it and it continues to not look right, the less sure I am of that. But we'll see.
looking great so far, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah,
It does.
really cool.
I mean, there's a difference between it looks good and it looks real, right?
Okay.
And this needs to be the latter.
Hmm.
It is, I think, very, very hard to paint miniatures to the extent that a close up will not give away that they're miniatures. That's a tough one, even for
Yeah.
Not. It's tough and it takes time, even if you know exactly what you're doing.
yeah,
Yeah, the guys who do it professionally make a lot of money.
yeah, yeah.
Then there is a reason for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I think a lot of it depends on the type of material that you're painting anyway, because if you don't have a a very finite texture on the material itself to work from, then that's automatically going to give it away, regardless of how well it's painted.
Yeah, that is true. And I didn't know the use he intended to put this to when he asked me to make it,
Mm.
or I would have used my resin printer. I use my
Mm.
FDM printer where the layers are much more visible than they would be
Mm.
on a resin printer. But I don't think that's too much of the problem. I think the problem is just I'm not that accurate with a paintbrush for the most part. But it's getting better, making progress.
It looks great. Would love to see you post to the showcase when it's in progress and when it's done. I'd love to see the final
Yeah, I
come out.
intend to do that. I'm really just hoping to get it to the point where I can put a wash on it. Because that I think once a wash goes on, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Washes are kind of like they're the saviors. They really do. Dry brushing and washes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Speaking of the showcase, how about we throw it on while we still have Steve?
Oh yeah, let's do that. You're right. Good idea. All right. So yeah. So Steve, since you're here, can we go ahead and do the showcase while you're still with us, real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
let's do
right.
it.
We're gonna pop on over there. Showcase. Yeah. Here we go. And here we go. Okay. So this is Rob who left us earlier, but he made a beautiful apple tree. This is, I mean, I love that bark on the trunk.
Oh wow.
That is awesome, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And that is a full apple
Ooh.
tree. That's a lot of apples.
Yeah, what are
And-
the apples, I wonder?
Little beads. Those are little beads.
Okay.
Little red beads. That's a lot of pies there, boys. I like that. That's really great.
Yeah, really cool.
And then, oh, I forgot that it was an ent.
Yeah,
Oh.
it might not enjoy like it if you start molesting its apples.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's
It
a
makes
little
me think of the
scary.
Wizard of Oz, you know, where the
Yeah. Trees are
Yeah.
always jerks, except in Lord of the Rings, where the trees are only kind of jerks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of apples. That's really well done, Rob. Thank you so much for posting the pictures. It turned out awesome.
Yeah, those are really
Really
cool.
nice. Really,
I
really
think the kind of
nice.
variation on the leaves.
Yeah, and I like even the base. I like
Mhm.
how he did. That's really well done too. Really, really nice. Excellent. And then Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence's house is so good. Look at this, guys. Last week he posted the trees, and then he has a house to go with it, which has beautiful winter coverage on it, icicles and so forth. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is great.
That is a great house. Oh, you okay, Kim? You're right.
What's up?
Uh-oh. Oh, Kim, you okay?
Kim died.
Yes, she did. Oh dear.
She's still moving.
Yeah, I just dropped my paint palette, but it's not too bad.
Oh.
Not too bad.
Okay. You muted. You properly muted so that you could say what was on your mind. Is that right?
Yeah, y'all didn't need to hear that.
What I like about this, Lawrence, is that you have nice long icicles there hanging at the door, so that solicitors that come to the door asking if you want to buy magazines, you can just break one of them off and. Oh, this is really nice.
I just have the paintwork on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look what he did with the windows. Do you see that? Do you see that right here? Whoops. Oh, rather than the granny grading. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is that balsa wood fan, I think.
Yes.
Wood?
Yeah. I watched the video
okay.
earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was their piece of fun.
That is gorgeous. Whoops. Okay. It's good. Yeah, there's a lot of detail in this. Look at the sides, guys. Look at that stonework. And the wood too. The wood looks awesome.
Well, unfortunately, that's time for me.
Okay.
All right.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks
Let
for
me
having
get
me
back to
again.
Same.
hello.
Always
Let
nice
me
to see
get back to so we
Alright.
can say our goodbyes properly. There we go.
Time to go get my mini-me's.
Go get your mini
Adios.
me's.
Well, thanks for joining us, Steve.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Thank you. So Laura says he used the fan. Yeah, that was the fan. Okay. So back to the showcase. And we'll go to. Oh, I like this. I like the chimney too. That looks great. You know what's really nice too is that the snow effect is really well done because it's not just one, the top of the chimney or the top of the roof. It's staggered down the chimney where there's little edges of the stone sticking out.
Yeah, same on the roof. The
Yeah.
thing with the slope was a really good idea.
Yeah, on top of the
Yeah.
edge of the timbers and things like that. Now that's a really nice touch.
Yeah.
That is a super nice touch. Yeah. Killer icicles. Literally.
And what was the texture for the exterior walls again, Lawrence?
Good question. Beautiful work, dude. Really, really beautiful work. Yeah, what is that texture? I'm looking. Whoops, sorry. That looks.
Yeah, it looks very fibrous, like it's some.
See, I don't know. That could be any number of things. That could be a plaster, like a mixture, like applying a plaster to that, and then just doing some squiggling through it. It could be foam that has been textured. It could be a number of different things.
I think
Yeah,
it was some sort of paste, but I can't quite remember what it was.
Yeah, it looks so fibrous. It looks like there's actual straw or something in for the house. It looks like there's straw in
Mhm.
the mortar, which is
Mhm.
great. So I'm
Mhm.
just wondering what he used.
Homemade texture paste.
Homemade texture paste.
Homemade texture paste. Yep.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I like the wood door. This is a really nice build, Lawrence. Thank you for submitting this. This is really nice. And then, we saw this one before, I think, but was there extra work done on this one? Because that's beautiful. The patina is the one that just absolutely makes me go, ah, that's fabulous.
Yeah, and those were the UV resin ones.
These are the UV resin ones. Yeah, look at the faces on that. That's a very Lawrence choice. Really nice. Ah, Mia. Mia. Look at you go. Lovely arches. Lovely, lovely. She has got a lovely architectural feel about her stuff. She is able to put buildings together that just feel right. They flow. You know what I mean? I'm doing a very bad job of expressing it.
No, the architectural aspect is, like you said, is extremely prominent. They look like they look functional.
Exactly. That's the word I was going for, is functional. Yes, absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. And they're also very modular, apparently. Yeah, that's great.
Budger is good.
Modular's great.
Modular is awesome.
All
Utilitarian.
hail the modularity.
That's what I really need to hone my skills and start doing stuff with being modular rather than just making weird crap. Ah!
It's a different mindset from what you do usually, because you have to plan it out a bit beforehand.
Yeah, that puts a
And
puts a barrier.
and from what I remember, you generally have to do multiples of the same thing, obviously, because otherwise you can't have a modularity with just one item.
Well, it fits with itself perfectly.
I think good
I really like
intentions.
I really like the colors on these.
Yeah, beautiful. The stone is painted beautifully. Yeah, these are really nice. Oh, your heater likes it too, Kim. Oh, look at that texturing. Look at that texturing. It's got lovely cracks, holes.
Yeah, the colors and the texturing are really excellent here.
Yeah, very, really nice. Yeah.
Now she got the tops done, yeah.
Master Crafter Mia.
Yep.
Absolutely. Excellent stonework. Agreed, Chris. Excellent stonework. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Good stuff. Thank you, Mia. And I think that was the last of our showcase, but yay, good stuff.
Sweet. Thank you so
Clo-
much, everyone.
Yeah. Closing thoughts? GM versus player?
No boat. I
I
think
s-
that's my closing thought.
I
No boat.
said what
Okay.
I said.
You've had your say. Yeah. For me, it's just I wish I could GM more. I really do, but I do enjoy playing, and I enjoy playing with the GMs that I've played with a great deal. So I'm not complaining. I'm not really complaining. So we're running, we're going to close out a little bit early today, but I think this was an excellent episode. Thank you, Steve. I know you've already gone, but thank you for joining us today. And thank you, chat, for being here with us. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you,
Until,
Lisa.
Thank
thank
you.
you. Okay. Next week, what are we doing next week? It's a
I
mystery.
don't know.
We do what we do every week. Try to take over the world.
Take over the world. On that note, goodbye.
That note, have a lovely day or night, everyone, as the case may be.
Everyone take care.
Bye.
Bye.